a lot of parents are approached in their IEPs when their kids are maybe kindergarten, but sometimes first and second grade, second grade, especially third, as they're starting to test. And districts are pushing them to be on a certificate track at that age. So what do you recommend parents do, even if they don't know if that's going to be a possibility for their child, but they're uncomfortable, right? Even if that feeling, what do you recommend parents do?
So I don't think that districts should be, saying to parents, we need to make that decision now in kindergarten, first grade, second grade. I don't think that's the appropriate time to have the discussion as far as, just so you know, we need to make a choice between the certificate track or the diploma track. What I do think should be happening is, if the team, the school-based team is recommending a move to an alternate curriculum that early on, that they explain the potential implications of that your child is not going to be accessing general education curriculum. This is what the curriculum is going to look like. A common curriculum, a popular one that you see is like unique. And I'm constantly asking in the IEPs, knowing the answer. Okay, so when you're looking at present levels, what grade level is this student at? Like, and compare, what grade level content are they accessing? If they're not working towards any specific grade level, then what does that speak to in terms of what your child is doing at school and in the classroom, right? And if you can't tell the parent what grade level they're performing at or what grade level content they're accessing, then what are they doing in the classroom? And how are they ever going to be able to have the opportunity to catch up? So if that's starting to happen as early as kindergarten, first and second grade, I think the bigger concern is, or question in parents' minds is, and should be, if it's not, is what are we doing to ensure that my child is going to be able to work towards, accessing that grade level curriculum, and not just giving up on that child and just kind of saying, well, this is where we're putting them and this is where they're going to stay. Because if there is no expectation of them to continue to work towards those standards and or, okay, let's say your child's in fourth grade, but they're at first grade right now, and they can't tell you after they move them to, the functional skills class, now she's at second grade, or she's, made a year's growth, and they're just saying, well, she's in this strand. That's not really, it's not really showing that they're working towards any substantial progress. And so the gap widens, and it widens significantly. And I just feel like, the law says that, students have the right to their least restrictive environment, and moving them to a completely different curriculum, and which is obviously now at that point, generally a separate environment. It's an SAI class, is pretty restrictive. And then you're taking away that student's opportunity to really work towards the opportunity to be in a diploma track ultimately one day, because the expectations are lessened, and that's not fair to the student. And definitely the earlier that happens, it's just, it's hard. And I feel like everything should be done. Well, I don't feel like, the law says everything should be done before we get to that point, right? And I just think that's where it becomes hard for parents, is how do they know that everything's already been done? How do they know what else could be done? That's the hard part.